stay optimistic. If you want to achieve success as an entrepreneur, you have to stay optimistic that it's going to work out. Because life is going to throw you curveballs. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You might lose a lot of money. You're going to have the little man in your life tell you all the reasons why your idea is not going to work out. You need to stay optimistic that it will. One of my favorite stories is of Walt Disney. When he was a little boy, his father beat him regularly. That was his form of, getting rid of some aggression. But he took it out on his son, Walt. And at a really young age, Walt started drawing and doodling. And his life at home sucked. And instead of getting down on himself, he remained optimistic and created this fantasy land for himself where he imagined he was playing and living. When he got a little bit older, the war was on, and so he joined the army. He went and he was an ambulance driver in France. And all he saw around him was people with their limbs being blown off and blood everywhere and just misery. And he was the ambulance driver, right? Imagine how much bad stuff you see every day. And he remained optimistic, and he wanted people to be happy. And so how do you be happy if you're being picked up in an ambulance? And the little touch that he added was he would draw cartoons and sketches all over his ambulance of happy creatures and people having a good time to try to uplift people's spirits. He remained optimistic even in the hardest circumstances. He came back to America and he wanted to start his own business. He wanted to be an animator. He wanted to create his own creations and share it with the world. And it got so hard for him that he was in Kansas City and he couldn't afford to have an apartment anymore, so he slept at his office. He lived at his office. He ate cold beans every day because he couldn't afford real food. But he remained optimistic that it was going to work out. And then finally, after all this crap that happened to him, after all of these failures and not seeing any momentum or success, he finally has something that takes off. And it was Mortimer the Lucky Rabbit. That was his first creation that really had commercial success. And he made the pivotal mistake of agreeing to allow the copyrights for Mortimer the Lucky Rabbit to go to his distributor. And then his distributor cut him out of the deal. And he lost his first creation. And instead of getting down on himself, he remained optimistic. He thought it was going to work out. And he thought back to the times when he was in Kansas City in his office, sitting on his cold floor, and there was a pack of mice that were always hanging around in his office. And one of them became a really close friend of Disney, and he treated him as a pet. And so Walt Disney said, you know what, my next creation, I'm going to make it a mouse. And it became Mickey Mouse. He remained optimistic. He remained positive that it would work out. And eventually it did, even though he got pounded and beat down and got screwed over and saw such terrible things in his life. He remained optimistic that it would work out. One of my favorite quotes that Disney said just shortly before he died was, "I hate to see downbeat pictures. I know life isn't that way, and I don't want anyone telling me it is. So stay optimistic and believe that it's going to work out." You guys like this video? Give it a thumbs up below. You can click on the link in the description to support me. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and click on my face, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.